What's going on, you guys? It's that time of the week, the weekly recap. It is June 21st, 2026. Happy Father's Day, everybody. We got an update on the protocol here. Let's get right into it. First and foremost, do you guys like this format? We had some problem with our other streaming service, so we are recording on Riverside. If you like this, if you think this looks better, let us know. I like it so far. I think it is great. So, okay, guys, really fun update here. This is a fluid situation. So if you're watching the recording of this video, things may have progressed very nicely because they are currently progressing as we are filming. So this is good. So recap here, guys. We are still paused, but in the last like 2 or 3 updates, we've been stuck on a certain step. And so we're going to break that down. So let's recap here. We have gotten up to, at the last recording, up to step 4. This is done, okay? So step 5, this has been our hiccup here, okay? And basically, to keep it super simple, because I don't know the attack vector yet, so I can't give you the exact technical reason why this is precisely important, but key verify was something that we are trying to attempt. This is a new process in which we can be 100% sure that there is no remaining bad actors in the network. Okay. But this has been causing us issues with 2 specific nodes at the last, like our last final attempt. So let's talk about that for a second. One of the nodes here is affected is Andy. And Andy, I don't know if you guys remember, is a very great ecosystem member. In fact, he's one of my node operators. So it's not like the nodes that are holding us up, these 2, are bad actors. If you guys remember from previous Thursdays, Chad has said that he has seen 0 evidence of any type of malicious activity that bared resemblance to the one attacker that rugged one of our vaults, right? So, and for those who don't remember, Andy, we actually did a podcast with him. So this is the one of the Liquefy guys, actually works with Kenton. So this guy gives infrastructure for like free for new nodes. So this is like one of the best members. So what we think is going on is that the key verify, there is just some very complex, nuanced reason that we can't figure out why exactly it's not working. And so like if you see here, nothing obvious in the logs either, right? So, we spent, I think, at least a couple weeks on key verify. We've said in the very beginning, if it doesn't work, we can push past it. We've gotten up until last 2 nodes. So for that reason, Chad Bearford did give the go-ahead to push past it. So we have skipped step 5, given it our best activity. We then went to step 6. We have passed step 6. We have unhalted signing. And then we went to step 7, initiate the churn. And gosh dang it, the churn has been initiated. Look at it. Look at it. It is beautiful. So we have moved past step 7 and step 8, waiting for the churn to finish. So this all happened while we're figuring out what to record this video. So I'm going to give a quick recap. Okay, guys? So we had some issue with block time. Okay. So we were not sure, you know, Devel here, one of the node operators said, hey, I don't know, blocks were slow. Blocks were like a couple minutes and then it went back down to a minute, right? Block times are currently back to 6 seconds. Last I checked. In fact, we'll check live in the recording of this video. So we are back. So there was some speculation that maybe it was a smart contract that was causing issues. I don't know. As you can see here, Kodhan says slow blocks recently have been related to consensus. Okay, so not sure what happened here. This is something we'll probably ask on Thursday to get to speculate what exactly. But it looks like the problem has resolved itself. In fact, let's check in real time. That's 6 seconds, you guys. Oh, that is beautiful. That is 6 seconds right there. You love to see it. So we are now, our block time has gone back to normal. So you love it. So now we're just waiting on the churn to finish. If you look at these transactions here, this is related to like store migrations and TSS consensus and things like this. So the churn, it is happening live, guys. So let's go back. Just to put a little cherry on this, we are waiting for the churn to finish. Once it does, we'll unhalt secured and trade assets. Things will rebalance, unhalt LP actions, unhalt trading. We will be back to the races, you guys. So let's hope finally next week, when we give our weekly recap, everything works. We're back to trading. And if it does not go back to trading, just remember that is entirely Coke's fault and he is to blame for this. Coke is such a nuisance to this ecosystem, I swear to God. So hopefully Coke doesn't mess up anything else. So that's where we're at, guys. Let's move on to our podcast we did. So on Thursday, we had an update from Chad Bearford. Again, a lot of the things we talked about is related to what I've just talk like, so this is before, right? So obviously, so we've moved past a lot of the things we're talking about. We've moved past the key verify, but we mentioned a lot of interesting things. Kenton gave a really cool marketing update. KOL talk. Sal the algorithm talked about the revenue revenue share with certain integrators and how we're going to play with that, dynamic fees. So these are really cool. Hugan updates. Monero, we are very close to releasing Monero. So once the network gets back online, hopefully Monero gets added very quickly. It's working, you guys. I asked, hey, on ChainNet, we have swaps in and out of Monero happening, and they are. So very, very cool. Very, very cool. So what's so exciting, you guys, is when we get the network back online, all the things that we had building up before we had this event happen, we can start executing on. So I think we're going to hit the ground running. Super, super exciting. Talked about, how the Maya devs, their performance, which has been excellent. A lot of cool things here, guys. So if you want to check out Thor's Day, do recommend it. Very, very cool. On the next podcast on Saturday, this was a really fun one. Basically, Fernando Zolo's army, they are a third party of eCash that belongs in the eCash ecosystem. Excuse me. They're not core developers, but this is a team that wanted eCash onto THORChain because a lot of the liquidity that they have does not have direct access to, like, say, the United States, which obviously is a big player in the crypto market, and they really wanted THORChain to support eCash. And so they built the chain client, right? And according to them, like Star Squid's giving the thumbs up. So what I really love about this is that a third party, again, not necessarily core devs, did the work to add the chain client to get on THORChain. That is really cool. That is what we want. We want that go-to attitude because, well, as we tell all our integrators, we do not have the bandwidth to just add chain after chain. We need help from third parties. And if you are listening to this and you want your chain on THORChain, do the work. Get some developers, do the sweat equity, make the chain client, submit it to Star Squid. If it works, then you have a very good chance of getting added in the near future. That's how it works. Danexia Capital, and again, links will be in the description down below, guys, has made a great breakdown if you want all the cool stuff on there. It's basically eCash is a fork of Bitcoin Cash. And I do recommend doing this. We did have some audio problems, unfortunately, on Fernando's side. So this actually may be the correct way, but it was a good one. If you want to skip like 30 minutes ahead, it was a great one. But yeah, you guys can pause it if you want to see this or check out the link down below. But it just seems like this is going to be another UTXO on THORChain, and UTXOs are very cheap to run, right? And so this will be great. This will be an awesome chain that'll just bring in more revenue for THORChain. So you love to see it. So shout out to Fernando. It was great to have you. And when we get eCash on THORChain, we'll do it again. We'll do a podcast to celebrate the event. So you love to see it, you guys. And that's going to conclude this week's recap, you guys. Ruggiero, we talked about Code Hans. We don't have much to say on that. They're waiting for us, right? So I cannot wait for the next week. Hopefully, we are back to trading. Everything's normal, and we give a proper update of what Ruggiero is doing because they haven't stopped building. They've done a lot of interface changes, but let's save that for the next week when THORChain's back to running and we can really celebrate the progress that they've made because they haven't stopped. Always remember, guys, everything we say here is not investment advice. It's just for informational, educational purposes only. The THORChain community does not endorse or condone any illicit activity of any kind whatsoever. Please like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're going to be having a lot more content coming very soon. Thanks for hanging out with us today, guys. Take care now. Bye-bye.